No
Okay, so
problem.
I think what we'll do today then, since we kind of want to focus on getting those orders placed and how that process works, we'll just start by looking what it looks like to get navigated into Bertch InfoNet, and then kind of the resources that you can see within InfoNet, and then maybe we'll just walk through like a pretty simple bath online order just to kind of see how that process goes through. So there's a couple of different ways to navigate to InfoNet. You can get to it from the Bertch.com website. So just, Bertch.com is the web page that I'm on here now. And you can link to it here from dealer login. Or again, I have it saved here as just a bookmark page because it is its own web page. And so if we just go to dealer login, I'm sorry, I'm already logged in there. So let me
That's what you see.
try that again.
Yes. Yeah, so they're on the portal. So once you log in, that's exactly what they're seeing when they.
Yes.
Because
Okay.
she has it saved. So, yep.
Yeah, there would be a login page, if you have your credentials. Obviously, it would ask for your username and password, and then it would get you into this main page. So if you've been in here before, you'll see on the main page here, we have our bath lead times listed first here. So you're always going to see bath lead times listed first. Now, yours is going to be based on your location. My login is based on my location. So I'm like a CPU, a customer pickup lead time. Your guys's would be, depending on how long it takes our trucks to get to you. So just make sure you're checking that based on your login, your location. Marketplace Kitchen Plus is listed below here. Here is where you can find previous orders. And so these are going to be your most recent orders, are just going to be kind of a quick link here that you're going to be able to see. And then you can go ahead and click the BCM number here and link directly to the order acknowledgement there. And if you can't find it here for some reason, if it's maybe a little bit older or maybe isn't showing up here, you can go down here to all order history. So I'll show you just here quickly. It looks like we've got some sample doors in process here. So I'll show you this. You can just click on this quick link here. It'll take you to this order page here, and there you'll see our order, and that will open up so you can see the order acknowledgement here. And this all opens in a separate window, so you can just simply close out of it. But if you're looking for, order date, ship date, any of the order information here, it's just a quick way to easily access current orders. Oops, let me move this sharing thing out of the way. There we go. Again, it opens up in a separate window. So if I close that out, I'll come back to this page. But like I said, if you can't find it here, you can just click here and it'll take you back to this page. There won't be anything shown at the bottom. And then you can just go ahead and put your division in, put your dealer, find yourself within here. And you obviously won't show everybody. It'll just be your dealer code there. Search by PO, job name, etc. And then you can quickly link to any open orders. Those would populate across the bottom of the screen here. If you do happen to have your order number handy, you can simply just type that order number in here. And then again, it will pop up with a link. So that way you can get directly to those order acknowledgements for review. Also, invoice lookup. So if you have the order number or the invoice number, you can quickly look up your invoices here as well. So that's going to be a handy link for them if they're looking for those invoices here. And then we also have an open invoice search here as well. So very similar to the open order, you have that open invoice here as well. And so again, you just, select the division, select your dealer. You can click the box here to show paid invoices. And so this will be a great place, if you're looking for those invoices to link up with orders or anything that you may need to do there. So that is all quick linked through that main page. Again, it opens in a separate window. You can close out of that. You're going to come back to that main page. It's all going to be located right here, front and center. So again, scroll
Lisa,
down to the bottom. Yep.
Quick question. Do we send
Yep.
our dealers like an open order report daily or weekly? I know with some of our other brands that they carry like Aristocraft and Mantra, they get that and it kind of shows the status, or is that a manual? In order to see it, they have to go through the portal to see the status?
Michaela, is that something that we do send out, or is it something we just send out like invoicing?
Yep, just for invoicing, that would be on statements only. Yeah, so individual order lookup would be upon them to go into Infonet, correct?
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, so there's a couple of ways to access the bath online ordering. There's going to be a box, like a live box over here on the right-hand side, but you can access it through our bath tab over here. Again, I show all of the divisions that we sell. If you only sell bath, you're only going to have the bath available here. And so here there's just some additional information, some assembly and instruction information. This is more for your designers, installers, etc. So, you know, we have wall mount vanity instructions, floating shelves, just a basic vanity installation there. Again, you can link to the online ordering here, so we'll get to that in just a moment. Our catalogs and literature are available here in digital format as well. So our bath catalog, this is going to be the technical spec book. I'll show you that in a view here. If you prefer to work in a digital format, or you're working remotely and you don't have your printed catalog, or you know, perhaps we're just trying to find some details. If you're not the designer, you still have access to that full digital catalog here, product specs, door styles information. And so that digital catalog, and this is always going to be the most up-to-date version of the catalog. So if there's, you know, some minor changes of things that we make, maybe a typo or something like that, this is always going to be the most up-to-date version of the catalog, is the digital one here on Infonet. These two here are just digital versions of our color printed literature. So our book of bathrooms, that's just our view book. If you would have that in your showroom, this would be something that you would hand out to customers for them to view the photography, and then, you know, again, all the door styles, just all our setups and things like that that we show, inspiration. But also towards the end, then you can see contemporary, and then all of our wood species, those finishes, our paint finishes. We introduced acrylic last year. We have foil available in textured and in matte. We have glazed finishes available. And then, of course, we offer our vanity tops as well. So we make all of these cast polymer tops here on site. And so we have those here, our Oasis collection. And then we do have a small selection of quartz tops as well. And so I'll show you where to find those in the online ordering as well. We don't make these here on site. We just simply mount the bowl and drill for the hardware for these. Here's our cabinet hardware. We include any selection of these knobs or tab pulls for free with any of the orders, but we do have a selection of handles that you can order from as well. So this is, again, just designed to be a customer-facing brochure. You can have printed copies in the showroom, or you can access it here digitally. And then this one here is, oops, go ahead.
Couple quick questions. Go ahead,
Yep.
Cody, first.
So where you said those knobs are pulled or just included with any order, so is that something that if they just make the selection and put it on there, it just gets added to the order, no charge then?
Yep, there will be, I'll
Yeah,
show you
and
when
you
we do
have-
the ordering. We
We have
do
the ability to
recommend,
drill too.
Oh, cool.
yes,
but, yeah.
yep,
Okay, cool. I just wanted to clarify that I was hearing that,
Yeah.
right? Thank you.
Yes.
yep.
And then,
So like
But-
with our flat panel, it'll default to like this tab pull, but you can select any of those knob pull hardware with any of your orders for no charge.
Lisa, real quick, when you mentioned like if the digital catalog or digital price book online is going to be the most current, if we have any changes or updates, do we send our dealers a notification that, hey, this has been updated, go download the most recent? Because I know I've seen that with some other brands from Master Brands. Or should they just be checking it periodic? How do we know that there's been an update?
Yeah, just check it periodically. I mean, if there's a major update, a product update, or if there was
Product
like
launch? Yeah.
a major thing, yes, then we're going to send that out. But
Okay.
basically, it's like I said, if we find a little typo or a little something like that, we're just
Yeah.
always going to update it online. So yeah, just periodically checking it. The only major change things that we would do to send out is that major changes if we have a product launch or discontinue something like
Yep.
immediately. Yeah, that's
Perfect.
that's the only
Okay.
time. Mhm.
Good. Okay. Thank you.
And then this brochure here, this is like a little trifold brochure that you can obviously order to have printed copies in the showroom as well. But this is just nice to have. It doesn't have every SKU, but it's just kind of a quick look of the spec book. So if I zoomed in here quickly, you know, if we're looking at our interlude vanity style, it shows you the style and it shows you all the sizes available. Again, it's a customer facing tool or for use in the showroom, but it's just handy to have a digital copy of this as well. If a customer was looking at this, maybe you could just, you know, snip this and send that to them and say, hey, these are your options here too. So and it's kind of 2 pages, gives you again the wood species finishes. Great little resource catalog here too. So under that is our forms. Most of our forms are going to be, most of these things you can do through the online ordering, but we do have paper forms here as well if needed, because there are some instances where that might be helpful. Our job site delivery form, we can do job site deliveries, but there are particular requirements with this. So you do want to make sure that if you're requesting this delivery, that you read those requirements and know that there's an additional drop charge and things like that with that. So that form is available there. Our marketing support forms are here. Most of the things for samples, chips, doors, etc., can be ordered through our online ordering. But if you wanted to see an actual, you know, PDF form, you can view that here. We do have paper order forms as well. If you still have folks that like to write it out and in email or fax it in, we can still accept orders that way. We do have the ability to do custom sizes and shapes in our Oasis. And so this is just a handy form to fill out and attach with a drawing. And I'll show you that too when we do a custom top in Bath Online ordering. It's just a handy form. You don't necessarily have to use this if you can attach a drawing in another way, but again, it's just helpful information. And then again, anytime that we have an update kit, you can see that ordering form here. So if you already have a bath display and you just need to update it with our most current samples, this is just a fillable PDF. You just fill in these here, click that you want the update kit, and then we're going to send you the new doors and these finishes listed here, and then the new color chips, new materials, and then any discontinued items or colors are going to be listed here. And again, if you wanted to do the bath catalog inserts into the binder, the inserts only, and then those book of bathrooms and that spec brochure, you can do that as well. And then you can just, you know, download this and save it and then send it as in an email to dealer services to get that update kit sent out. We also have a bath display ensembles form, so I'm not sure if you're displaying any bath product in the showroom, if you have space for that, however you're set up. But we do have this really great ensemble order form that we've put together. So this first one is a great little starter kit. It comes with the interlude display tower that has all of your door styles, all your wood chip samples, your Oasis samples, and the display boards that shows your hardware, your crown molding, the feet, there's one more in there too. There's 4 boards in there that will show you all the features that are available to order through here. Like I said, crown molding, edge profiles, hardware, etc. And then you get this great little Portland display here, this little reverse vanity with a top and a mirror. So what we've done is just put together great little displays. You don't really have to think about it. They're the popular door styles and finish combinations. Comes with a top, and you can just check the box, and then we will send this display out to you. If you do want to change anything about them, like you like this Osage vanity, the size, but you prefer it in white, you can just click modify the display and then just change anything that you would like about it. Tell us, you know, I want this, but in white, and we can send your display that way. Or it can just give you some inspiration for customers. Like, I don't really know what's popular. I don't really know what's selling right now. You can use this to say, you know, this Woodbury vanity, the Cherry River Rock is a really popular seller right now as well. This interlude here in the Quartersawn Oak Cashew, that's selling really well. So it's just another way to show customers as well, you know, popular selling items. Or just an easy way to get a display on the showroom floor as well. Okay, so like I said, forms here. Some other miscellaneous downloads, the bath construction specs, good for designers, the hardware board, wood characteristics to just educate yourself on the different woods that we offer. That interlude sample display flyer, that's going to tell you everything that's included in there. And then we also have just bath color chip boxes. And so this one comes in a zipper bag for transport. This one is just like a box for like a countertop display within the showroom for just the sample chips. And then lastly, we have our training topics. And so if you weren't around last April and you wanted to watch the new launch of our product from last year, you can watch that. The Bath Essentials webinar that I host typically the first Wednesday of every month. We have a recorded version of that here. And then just some other good training topics, how to adjust a hinge, how to do some minor touch-ups, drawer adjustments, hinge adjustments. We have this contemporary vanity leg base here, just more installation instructions on how to do that. So, and then I do have some instructions here on the bath online ordering. So if you need to refer back to that as a reference, in case we miss anything today, there's always a tutorial here as well. So I'm going to get into the bath online ordering. So anybody have any questions?
No, and I think we can just focus on like the cabinets. I don't think at this point we're going to be diving into the tops. We're still finalizing some program stuff with Lumberman's on tops. So it's just the cabinets,
We'll
I guess.
just work on cabinets then. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So we'll just call this. So once you click on the bath online ordering, excuse me, let me go back here. You can link to it from here again, or you can link to it from here on the main page. It will open in a separate window, and then it'll say, let's get started. So it's going to ask you to put in an order or a quote, name, number, something there. So however your organization wants to do that, if you're going to do it by, you know, designer name or location, and then the customer's name, or if you already generate POs or quote numbers, you can put that in here. It just requires that you put in some sort of characters to be able to move forward there. So we can just put in like web training, something like that, just to move forward. There is an option before you place the order to change that at the end if we need to. So it's going to take you to a very basic page right here. It's going to start you with what we call base cabinets, so our vanities and bases. And so vanities, obviously, to include anything with a sink base or sink base included in it, whether it has drawers left or right, center drawers, etc., or just our individual bases. So an individual sink base, an individual drawer base, a full height door, etc. So all of those base cabinets are going to be included under this tab here. Obviously, linen cabinets would be your next tab over here. So any of our tall cabinets. Ensembles, don't worry about that. That's an old, something old that we're working with IT to get that button taken off of there. It takes a little while. for them to program that off of there. So just don't worry about that. It doesn't take you anywhere. So we'll just
Lisa?
click on van. Oh, yep.
Quick question. So
Uh-huh.
is there a way to have visibility to more than one account for them for ordering purposes in the portal? The only reason I ask that is I know Matt's on the phone and we're trying to determine, because they're going to be ordering cabinets for Michigan, but also possibly Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, all their region. And we have multiple sales reps, myself and Matt. So just trying to figure out if there's a way, like with our other brands, they have separate accounts to order. So we know we give the right region, the right sales rep credit for those sales. Just, we haven't been able to get an answer on that yet for Bertch. So wondering if you or Michaela know the answer.
That might be a Michaela question, because
Okay.
I'm thinking you're probably going to have to, like, for each location, whomever is going to
Right.
be doing that order, if they're not in that location, they're still going to have to log into that location's.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah,
If you have
we'll
one individual that maybe orders for 3 different locations, they will need to have unique login credentials for each. So it's associated to the proper.
Which we do now, Jay, with other lines, so it's not a big deal. We have separate accounts.
Okay. So
Mhm.
okay, so we'll cross that bridge. We can easily set up separate portals for
Okay.
cabinet orders, Indiana. You know what?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right,
Yep.
right.
all right. Okay, thanks.
Because typically each location would have their own like dealer account number. So I really don't know what yours is. Maybe it's LMB1, LMB2, based on your locations. And so they would just need to log into whichever location that they're working within to be able to view and process those orders. And then that should be then assigned to the proper sales rep for wherever that
Yep.
location is as well.
Okay,
Alrighty, good questions.
perfect. Okay,
Okay, so this is going to be the screen that you see when you get into vanities and bases. And so even if you're not a designer working with a design program or working within the catalogs or anything like that, this is still so easy to work with because it's a radial button and you have a picture of every door style. So this is going to be your broadest selections here. And you can see I can scroll through here and I can see everything from our classic to our furniture to our Linnea lines. And so every single door species or door style and series is going to be included here. And so literally you just click anywhere on there. It'll make the selection of Edgewood. You can see a pop-up of it here. Everything will be done kind of in a Bertch natural at this point. And so as you continue to make selections through the system, it will start to edit out the things that you cannot do. So I'll maybe show an example of that here going forward. I know that Edgewood is going to be available in all of our materials and all of our finishes. And so I'm going to start with Edgewood. And then you'll just select the next tab of material. And so your wood species are available here. So I'm just going to select Bertch. And then I'm going to select my finish. And so it's going to edit it down to the available finishes on Bertch wood. So you can see there's no paint finishes available here. And then it deletes out any glaze finishes that would not be available. So you can just go ahead and click and the picture will update to what that finish looks like as a representation. So you can see the driftwood, you can see back to the natural, what that looks like. And so once we've made all of those selections, we can go ahead, our continue button will illuminate so we can move forward. And so then this is where you're going to need to put in your actual catalog item. You can add a job name at this point if it was Smith primary bath or Smith hall bath, lower level bath, or if you just want to use the designer's name at this point. This is a field where you can use more description for this particular line item. So this attaches to each line item versus, the overall dealer name of the quote is what we put into first. This is for each individual line item because you can do multiple door styles, finishes. You can do the whole house on one bath order. And so this is a good way to identify those. If you're not familiar with the nomenclature, or you don't have the spec book in front of you, or you don't have a 2020 listing or something, however you're going to be inputting these, this is where you would type in that exact nomenclature to start filtering the catalog. If you don't know that, we just have all of the groups of products here, all of that product listed here. So, just a basic description: vanity base with 4 drawers, a vanity base with 3 drawers, a vanity hamper single door. So that's just going to be a single base cabinet with a hamper pull out in it. And so you can start by going through here. So you'll see like the vanity 2 drawer and the vanity single door. Those are going to be very popular styles. It's going to have a header across the top. It's going to have either a single door or butt doors, depending on the breaking point of width. So single door goes up to 33. You go up to butt doors, you're going to be 36 and higher. And then the 2 drawers stack either left or right. So I can select that group, and then it's going to show me all my catalog items all the way from 24 inches wide up to that 33 inches high. And when you do a little bit more product knowledge training, this will make a little bit more sense, but we offer all of our vanities in either 31 inches high or 34.5 inches high. So 2 different heights and 2 different depths. So the standard 21 inches deep and 18 inches deep. So you can see for each vanity width, there's 4 different SKUs to go along with that. So by selecting this one down here at the bottom, that says to me in my brain that that's 33 inches wide, it's 21 inches deep, and it's 34.5 inches high because it has a T behind it because it's the taller style. So I'm going to select that catalog item, and it's going to autofill a lot of information for me, and it's going to give me a little preview of what that looks like over here. It's always going to default to premium spec because we only have one construction option. And then when we're doing a stain, you do have the option of semi-gloss, which it will default to, but you can select a matte top coat for no additional charge. And so there is some options there. And then we alluded to this just a little bit ago, that no drill. That box will be checked because we don't want to drill holes in your cabinet if you aren't expecting them. So we really want you to think, yes, I want you to drill. No, I don't. So if you don't want us to drill for the hardware, you just keep that checked. If you do want it drilled for hardware, it will
No
be
drilling.
no drilling. We'll just keep it like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to put it in specific places. It's going to be the center of the drawer. It's going to be this upper corner of that, and that's where it gets placed.
Just asking for trouble.
Yeah, no.
Yes. Just leave it at no drill and allow the installer to do that.
Yes.
This
So
again is where you select.
selection there, that doesn't.
They just send the hardware loose
Oh, okay.
with the, you're selecting your hardware,
Oh, okay.
but
It'll
we're not
select all
drilling
those.
for it. Yes,
Gotcha,
yes.
gotcha.
Yep.
So then that next
You get
drop
it
down box
included.
is where you can select your hardware. Yep. So it's going to
Yep.
default to that SNK 11. So if you don't select something different, you're going to get that SNK. It's a satin nickel knob. But you can see here, this is that tab pull. We have champagne bronze finish. We have matte black. We have chrome, and we have rubbed bronze available. We also have, this is that T-pull. So it's kind of like that contemporary T-pull on a stem. The reason that we have these pulls is that if you order anything from Interlude, which is part of our furniture collection, it's the one with the legs, the 3-inch kind of square legs with the open shelf sometimes. That one, we do put a handle with it. So that is the default free hardware with that particular line only. However, if you wanted to order those finished pulls, they're just those kind of stainless steel bar pulls. You can order those with any order, but they are a chargeable item. So you will see a charge for these additional pulls on here. So this is like your standard kind of 3-inch, and then it goes a little bit larger, and then it goes a little bit longer there too. And so at this point, you're going to see a black line, and that means we can make this cabinet. Like, this is done. We could make this cabinet, no problem. What you're going to see below that are options. So do you want to put a concealed drawer in any section of the cabinet? 1, 2, or 3, or 4. Probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense with this one because you only have this small sink base area. But I guess if you wanted to put a drawer in the bottom there and it didn't conflict with plumbing, you could. And then you just tell us which section, this would be the left section of the cabinet that you would put that in. Another enhancement that you can do to the cabinet is paneled ends. So this would replace the 3/4 inch plywood side with a mortise and tenon style door to match the front of the cabinet. And so it just gives that finished paneled end look to the sides of the cabinet. You can select left, right, or both. And then this is where you would select your leg option if you wanted us to remove the existing toe kick and then
They come finished,
attach,
like a matching laminate,
attach
like an
the
early
legs.
craft or I
Okay.
was just saying, if you want to finish it more decorative or
Okay.
flushing it. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. All the ends in bath cabinets come finished, so you don't have
Yep.
to call it finished ends. They're all going to be completely finished. This is just if you want to upgrade it to that paneled end option.
Okay.
And then again, that leg option, we've got those 4-inch legs here, and then we have 6-inch legs here. This is where we're going to take off that existing toe kick. We're going to prep the bottom of the cabinet, and we're going to install those legs on the cabinet for you. The only exception to that one is going to be that WL12. It's kind of that, it's more of a turned leg. It tapers down pretty skinny, and so we don't ship that one on it, but we will prep the whole cabinet for that one. So that
And
would be
if you
only
make an adjustment, will it show in the picture, like putting the door on the side of the cabinet?
No, it's not that smart.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure so
Yeah.
people know
Yeah.
that you're not gonna see that adjustment on the
No,
picture.
no, it's not going to do it. You just have to look at the catalog for that. So I put that on there, and
Right.
this is just a stagnant picture.
Does it in 2020?
2020 will, yes.
Almost.
Yeah, yeah. She said, yeah, it would.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. Yep.
So if you'd want to add any of those features to this cabinet, you can see that below there. Okay. So before I added this to the cart, there's 2 things that I want to show on this screen before we move forward. So you notice that when I selected my actual nomenclature up here, the Vanity TR33T, it came up with just kind of a generic picture here. If I click on this other tab next to that, so product spec, product description, it'll say a PDF drawing is available for this cabinet. And if I click download, you will get a detailed dimensioned picture of the front, top, and side view of that cabinet. So good for installers or good for knowing, door and drawer front sizes, especially if you have a split door, butt doors here, it's going to show you the size of those and where the center of those doors are. Drawer front heights, that false panel there, toe kick depth, depth of the box of the cabinet, depth to the front of the doors, the space behind the drawer. So it's just a handy little spec page here. Okay. And then one last thing here, and you can do this at the previous screen as well. But if you know that your entire order is going to be Edgewood Birch Natural, you can click these boxes and it will lock in those selections. And so then that way, when you go up here to make further product selections, it will lock those things in and you don't have to go through and click all those selections again. It's just a little time saver. Even if you know that the whole order will be Edgewood, but you're going to change some of it to a different wood or a paint or something like that, it'll at least lock in that Edgewood style for you. So you don't have to go through and make those product selections with every single item that you put into the order. Okay. It does say recalculate here. You can do that if you want a price. So if I take this off, I'll hit recalculate. It'll show me the base price of the cabinet. If I add my left paneled end, show me the updated price to add that enhancement to the cabinet. And then I click add to cart. It looks a little scary because it says warnings, but it's just telling you that line was successfully saved. And so you'll see now I have one item in my cart. Another thing that I want to point out at this point as well is that say you're working along and you get a phone call or you get pulled away for a customer or something pulls you away from whatever you're working on, as long as you have put in something here and you've clicked quote, it will save your work. It logs you out after about 90 minutes of inactivity, but you don't have to worry about saving your work as you go along. It will automatically save everything just as long as you've actually put something in that dealer PO box and clicked create order quote. Quotes will stay in the InfoNet system, in this Boo system, for 90 days under our quotes here. I'll show you that in just a moment. After 90 days, it does drop out of the system. And so you would have to go back in and re-quote that if, for whatever reason, the customer was to come back into, store to decide they wanted to purchase. And so after 90 days, that does drop out of the system. So again, that's how you add base product. Again, once I save it to my cart, I can just continue to add more product here if I need to. If I know that it's going to be that same door style finish and material. But if I want to change something, I can go back to here. I can change my door style, my material, my finish, and then continue adding product. The same goes for linens. We can select, maybe we want to do the Osage. We'll do material as paintable. We'll do the finish as graphite. And it's going to give you obviously just the front of a base cabinet here, but we know we're working within our linen cabinets now. Again, you can filter by group. So if you have butt doors, a 3-drawer, 3-drawer tall, 4-drawer tall, etc., on down the line. And then it will give you all the sizes. Again, our cabinets come 15, 18, and 21 inches wide in a single door. They also come 84, 90, and 96 inches high. And they come 12, 18, and 21 inches deep. So again, so much nomenclature in here to work with. We'll just pick one here, hinge left, hinge right. Again, premium spec. Now, I purposely went through and selected a paintable finish here, so that way you can see there's only one finishing for paintable, which is satin. Again, no drill, select your hardware. Here, you might want to add some concealed drawers, which are like rollout trays. Which section you could add any of the other organizers here that it shows, leg options, paneled ends, etc. So very quick, very easy, add to cart. Wall cabinets, the same kind of thing here. So wall cabinets, those are going to be any of our wood door cabinets, the wall commode cabinets, the wall valet cabinets. Those are all going to be found under here. Again, if I have locked in those selections, it would automatically fill all of these in for me. But again, it's a very quick point and click, point and click. And then I can filter by group again. So butt doors, commode, single door with drawers. This wall single door with drawers, that's kind of like a 48 or a 54 tall cabinet that would sit down on a countertop. We've got lots of different sizes of wall cabinets here. So like I said, once you get familiar with this, you're going to be clicking through. It's going to autofill as much as it possibly can. You can add any features to it and then add to cart.
Lisa,
Medicine.
quick question.
Oh, yep. Go ahead.
I just.
Hold on, she's walking up here. Be by the microphone.
I just want to make sure that when you're picking a wood species and you're picking a finish, that this system will not let you pick, for example, a painted on an alder if that's not available. Is that correct?
Correct. Let me show you. an
Yeah, it
example.
only shows you the options that it's available
Once you
on.
pick the wood.
Yes,
Okay.
correct. Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
It's.
I'll just show you a
error-proof
quick-
in that regard.
Is that
Yep,
how it
quick
is in
example.
2020 as well?
I would think so. Yeah.
Mostly. We can't. 2020 is a little bit harder animal to control because sometimes it lets you do things that aren't allowed, but Bath online ordering should not let you do that. The prime example is Riverside. So we have a glazed finish called Fossil. Fossil is a highlighted glaze. It's not flooded on the cabinet. It's just highlighted in the profiling of the doors. And so it would show up on Villager, it would show up on Walker, it would show up on Woodbury. Riverside, you can select paintable because we can paint Riverside, but Fossil does not show up because we can't do any glazes on this because it doesn't show
There's
up
no
on a
hang-up.
flat panel.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you can't pick it. So, if by chance you were like, oh yeah, let's do Riverside with Fossil glaze, well, you can't pick it. So it's going to be kind of your stop point of saying, oh no, that's not available. Similarly with like our Reedland door style, we don't do some of the finishes on Reedland just because it looks kind of funky with that paneling. So yeah, this is kind of your stop point of not being able to make selections that aren't available. That was a good question. Again, wall cabinets. So wall cabinets here that are wood doors, medicine cabinets that have mirror in them with wood frame. And then mirrors separately are framed mirrors that we have to match every door style, or we have freestyle framed mirrors. You can do custom sized mirrors. And so I can show you this quickly here, how simple it is to do a custom framed mirror. So custom sized mirror here. You can select your sheen here. You simply put in the size that you want of your custom framed mirror, and that is to the outside of the frame. Okay, so just take into account what style door you're going to be using because the styles and rails can be different. So your mirror space might be different per door style. And then these little notes over here is your minimums and maximums. So minimum is 16 inches wide, maximum is 60. Height, minimum 18, maximum is 60. And so, if you had kind of a unique space that you wanted to put that in that we didn't have a standard size mirror for, you could put that in there and put that one in there, and it accepts it because it's in between these two sizes here. We do have a 20 square foot maximum size on our mirrors, and so if you were to try to go outside of that, it will stop you from doing that here. And so I have a custom sized mirror, add to cart. Pretty simple. Obviously, we have our standard framed mirrors. You can select from any of those sizes. And then we do have an oval framed mirror. Oval mirror there, and that only comes in one size, so really no selections on that one. We'll just quickly cover cabinet accessories, or we won't go over vanity tops since we're not quite there in that program yet. Cabinet accessories, this is where you're going to find a lot of good stuff. They're your metal hardware. That's the actual knobs and pulls. So if you want to order those as separate pieces, you certainly can. If you had other items within the room, like a bifold closet door or something like that you wanted to use the same hardware, you can order additional pieces there. If you had the legs that you wanted to order separately, you can order our metal or wood legs separately here. Lights, that's another no button, doesn't do anything. Miscellaneous, this is where you're going to find all the good stuff. So all of our accessories, those accent pieces, crown moldings, if you want to order a custom sized wood door, fillers, end panels, floating shelves, all those organizers, moldings, touch-up kits. We have bead molding. We have tub aprons, which is like a squatty wainscot panel. So this is where you're going to find all of those extra good pieces here. Additional wood toe kick, valances, etc. So all of those are available here through our miscellaneous. So, always recommend sending a touch-up kit with every order. You're going to have a putty stick, a pen, and I believe it comes with some extra bumpers and a wiping cloth, things like that. So it's a nice little kit to leave with your installer to use for one when installing and then leave for the customer. Like I said, you can do just a filler stick, a marker, or you can do that deluxe touch-up kit and add that to our cart. Last tab I want to go over is marketing. So literature, those were all those literature pieces that we talked about earlier, those book of bathrooms, the spec guide, and the spec brochure, you can order here. And then samples. So if you wanted to order any of our foil samples, you can order those here. Those complete color chip sets are available here. Selection center door, that's the one that fits into those interlude slots of the display towers. The classic FF&D. So this is going to be a face frame and door. So this is going to give the appearance of like, I think it's about a 15-inch cabinet of what a door and a drawer combination would look like on the face of a cabinet. So it's a little bit bigger sample, but it really gives the customer the idea of what the front of that cabinet would look like, face, front, and door. A QRSD, this is a quick response sample door. So if you have a customer that the little chip really just doesn't help and you don't have a larger door sample of it within your displays, you can order a QRSD. They all come in the Northbrook door style. We stock all of them in all of the wood species. So basically all we have to do is finish it and ship it out to you. So it's a great way to get a bigger sample in your customer's hands of what that finish that they're looking for would look like. It's really great for painted finishes, really great for those glazed finishes, because sometimes the little chip doesn't do it justice, and maybe you just don't have the door sample there in your selection center for that. Those typically ship out in 2 to 3 days. So we're trying to get those samples to you very quickly. Again, those come in that Northbrook door style. So they have a little bit of profiling on the stiles and rails and a flat panel. And then any of those other sample kit boards that would go in your selling center. And then those Oasis samples as well. So if you just had a couple of chips that you needed to order, you could add a couple of those to your order. Let's go ahead and do a view our cart now, because we've added some items to it. So I just want to show you what that looks like. Kind of a basic spreadsheet here of everything that we've added to our cart. You can view this here. It'll just tell you a little bit more information across there. If you need to edit anything about this item here, perhaps the customer changed from semi-gloss to matte, or they changed the hardware, or they want to take the paneled ends off, simply click edit. It will take you back to your product screen. You can make any changes that you would like to make about this. Let's go with black hardware. We'll update our cart. And back to our screen here. So again, we can delete the items off here completely. So if the customer wanted to know, 3 different door styles, what our price point would be, with those, or maybe they wanted to know what the Edgewood would cost in a no charge wood species, what it would cost in cherry, and what it would cost in walnut. You could price all 3 of those here, and then once they make their decision, then you can go ahead and delete those items off of here. So it's, as long as you're not clicking submit order, there's a lot of practicing and things like that you can do within the system without really breaking it. You can get to this point of adding items and kind of getting familiar with it. To do some practice on those quotes. And like I said, the quotes will stay in there for 90 days and then they'll just drop out of the system. If you need to go ahead and add more product from this point, you just click add more and it takes you back to your first page. So you can continue adding items if you forgot some trim molding, some scribe, whatever that might be, you can go ahead and add more items there. I always like to have a printed copy of my order or my quote before I go through the ordering system, because sometimes it just looks different when you see it in this format. If you don't print things, you can certainly just save this as a PDF in a customer's file, so you have a copy of that in case you do multiple quotes for them. You kind of have an idea of where you started, or you can print this and keep this in the customer's file in case they decide, oh, we're going to wait 3 months, 6 months, whatever that might be. You can come back and put it in the system again. You've got it all right here for them to see. So
List.
it'll
Always list.
Yeah.
Okay.
always list price. Yes, we always have customer facing pricing. So you would have to apply your multiplier to this. And so that just gives you the opportunity, however you want to do that. If you want to work.
Customer?
That's why.
Yes. Lisa, quick question. So we have lumbermen set up as no minimums and they have special pricing. So we already did the D&D and, working with Jason, that's set up in the system for their account. Do
Okay.
we need to reference anything at time of ordering to make sure, if they're only ordering, say, two vanities today, obviously that's less than 6, but their account's set up that we waive the minimum. So I know we can mark that on the manual, like paper order form or electronic order form, but if we're going through the online order process, how do we do that? So, we waive the minimum.
I'll go ahead and take this one.
Mhm.
So yes, regarding minimums, so as long as the account code has been set up with the appropriate minimums, whether that's one, for the case of LMC, Boo should be smart enough, I should say, to remove the ECO option
Okay.
from the shopping cart.
So you don't
So
do anything.
yeah, if they do
Okay.
see that the ECO is popping up on there, certainly reach out and we'll just have to cross check to make sure it was
No
set up
special
accordingly.
Perfect. Okay.
So.
And then I
Yep.
know they were curious about, and maybe you're getting to it now, but as far as warranty replacement, what is the process on, we received the cabinet, the customer reported it damaged. How do we go about processing a replacement?
Yep, best method to handle those would actually be via an email request. So certainly all we
Okay.
would need is photos to confirm said issue, along
Yep.
with the original order information. So yep, just simple as that.
And then Michaela, does that new cabinet go out on the next available truck that they have? Or like if they don't have one, is it normal, the 4-week, cycle ship? Or if they have a truck already coming, does that cabinet get prioritized as a replacement to go on the next available truck that's coming?
Replacements will actually get first, they'll get scheduled right away, regardless whether or not they have a truck already scheduled.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
yep.
Okay,
Cool.
awesome. That's easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Okay,
Thank you for
so, yeah,
Yep.
so I'm gonna go ahead and click proceed to checkout, because this is where you would go then to see what you were just talking about. It says hold until piece minimum
yeah.
is met. That just went away because, this is probably what it's going to look like. So we've set up behind the scenes your system. If it's just a 1-piece minimum, then that ECO
Yeah.
option, like she was talking about, that's gonna go away. It's gonna say minimums have been met. I mean, if you had other orders that you wanted to combine shipments with, I mean, we could still do that. If it's going to the same location. Otherwise, like you said, just leave it as minimums have been met and they will ship out, on the next available truck. And the shipping method will always be defaulted to that SCB. If we
So
were
Lisa,
just gonna do,
if-
go ahead.
Yeah, if we're checking the ship with another division, so it's another division, but they're only doing bath. So if they placed an order 3 weeks ago and now they want to place another vanity order today, we can't combine it on that same order that was scheduled 3 weeks ago or ordered 3 weeks ago. What we're saying is it's, shipping with another division like Marketplace or Kitchens Plus, but they're only doing bath. So every time it's the normal cycle ship, correct?
Right. And so, I mean, in this instance, what I would say is like, if you placed like 3 orders within the same week, you could just ensure that those, just say, hey, we've got those 3 orders. Can we just make sure they're all getting out at the same time? Most likely they will, because you're going to be on that order cutoff. But maybe if it was like, you placed an order on Friday at the cutoff, and then you maybe had one the next Monday,
Well,
if you wanted to try to combine those orders together, since they're very close, but
That is the
if
cutoff
they're-
for this.
it's usually
Is there a-
Fridays.
Okay,
Fridays.
Fridays, okay.
And
So
again, that's
updates-
going to show,
Monday. Yeah, perfect.
maybe yours is Monday, but like that's going to show here on your main page, order deadline, estimated ship
Yeah.
weight.
So when
Yeah.
you're home, when you log in, that's immediately comes up.
Okay.
Yep. And so like I was saying, like if it's very close, like a Friday to a Monday, we might be able to get those together. If it's 2 to 3 weeks apart, those productions have already been, going through and scheduled. So I mean, we could hold the order, to ship all together, but then, that order you placed 3 weeks ago isn't going to go out for 6 or 7 weeks. And so, yeah.
Is there an average turn
We
date
can discuss that
on
on
a replacement?
our documents. I put.
Typically, any replacement orders, we have to give production 5 production days, and then it would usually ship on the very next truck that's available.
Okay, so figure a week for production and then the next truck.
Mhm.
Okay, good rule of thumb
Cool.
for warranty.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, let me see what I. Yeah, that follows our.
Yeah. Okay,
So 5 days and then the next truck.
okay, awesome.
And then down here is just gonna be the selected ship to address. So that's gonna be the main address that we ship to the showroom or the warehouse, wherever your orders go to. That's gonna be the default address that's in there. But if you have multiple ship to addresses
You have an order, you have
within
a
your
truck.
location, you know, they will be in here.
Then it's coming on the next truck. Yeah. I mean, they'll make a truck. It's
Oh,
coming.
okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Like, oh, you don't. have-
Because a warranty is an order. So
Okay.
it's, once it's
Okay.
produced, it's scheduled on a truck to come to you. Yes. Yep. Other questions you guys have?
No.
Then you have
Ladies?
one more chance to make any changes or
Oh, before you submit
updates. Add that job name here if you have that. Change quantities, delete off the order, you know, one more chance here to take a look at things. There's your, again, your total. And then again, if you want to change that PO number, if you work POs or, you know, you're assigning it to a particular designer or however you want to do that, you would go ahead and update that here. And then if you have the ability to submit orders, because if you're the person placing the order, you're going to be the admin that's going to have the permissions to submit the orders. If you're just a designer, perhaps you've set it up this way, that they're just a user, the submit button will be deactivated. They won't be able to submit orders
Well,
because obviously we want that flowing through the proper channels.
So anyone can do it. Yeah. Yeah, the order team uses one login for the portal right now, so they could all go in and place orders as needed, so.
Okay, yep. We just have some organizations that, you know, designers can go in and do quotes. There's the submit button is not for them.
Can I get this vanity quicker?
Yeah.
We don't offer any expedited service, right? If the customer said, hey, I would love to have this in 2 weeks versus the 4 weeks. Do we do an expedited production and shipping with an extra cost? Or do we just say, no, it's the cycle ship is the cycle ship?
Right, on the bath side, no, just because we operate with such a short lead time.
Yep.
Yep, we don't offer
Okay.
any additional expedite options.
Okay, perfect.
We need to make changes and we've already submitted it. Are we able to just?
No, that's why you got the ability
Just
to
gotta ask.
check and double check.
Yeah.
And
There's
not
no
to say
window for
regarding
making-
changes, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's all dependent on when the order is placed in retrospect to their cutoff date. So if their cutoff is Thursday and you're submitting an order on Tuesday, you essentially would have 2 days to make any changes to that order before it hits production.
Don't think we should advertise that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Just so you guys know internally,
yeah.
if they're asking for a change Thursday or Friday, you're probably not gonna do it. Monday, maybe, but yeah. So
So that's
the answer is no.
That's one nice thing is, once you submit that submit button, you will get an automated response through the system, just saying that it transmitted through to us electronically. No human has looked at it yet, but you will get what we looked at before, that order acknowledgement. You will get a copy of that in an email. And I know sometimes you've triple checked it and then you see it on paper and you're like, oh my gosh, that's not right. So, you know, that's why that has that automatic submission there. So if you have that, you know, go ahead and contact us ASAP. You typically then will receive an acknowledgement within about 48 hours. And then that one will have your estimated ship date on it. And so once we have that second acknowledgement in your hand, that's kind of the, you know, no more changes.
Okay.
So always know that you'll get two of them with BAF. The one that says, yes, we received your order, it's been transmitted, and then the other one with the actual ship date on it.
Perfect. All right,
And just
Is
to be
there-
clear, who delivers the product?
Bertch.
Bertch Bath.
Birch Bath. So it's
On our own
We
Birch Trucks
deliver on
doing
our
it.
own trucks.
Birch employees.
Yes,
Bertch employees, Bertch truck.
Love it.
Yay.
When the truck calls to make an appointment, do we have to take them the same day? They're asking.
yeah, I mean, they're gonna schedule the delivery, yeah,
Okay.
it's a route truck, so like the
Okay.
Mantra cycle ship type thing,
Okay.
so yes,
Where
yes,
does this product ship out of?
Iowa,
We're in Waterloo.
Waterloo, Iowa, yep.
Are they flexible on like time? Like if I've got a.
That's a good question. What is, do we know the window for setting up delivery? Like, I mean, what's our process on
Consistently.
scheduling?
Yeah, if you consistently know what your operating hours are for receiving, if you communicate that to us in dealer services, we can pass that on to transportation.
We do require appointments on all incoming trucks
Yes.
from the carrier.
Yep,
Yeah, okay.
Yep, transportation, they will schedule appointments usually the week before.
Okay.
And then additionally, the drivers will usually call 24 hours in
You have
advance.
to do that on the, I think, account setup
Okay.
for the logistics portion, so, yeah, yeah.
Is it my number, an email that's down, you know?
I think it's cabinet,
Set it up.
I think it's cabinet orders is the email.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, okay. I think we're good on questions on our end.
Is there anything else in the Bath Online ordering screens or anything that you want me to go back through? I mean, just as long as you have your InfoNet and your, you can get into the system here, you can go back, to the top here. I'll show you, like, here's all of the quotes, the
Okay.
one that we have here. And then again, orders. So you can access your orders from the top menu here as well.
Do quotes stay open a certain length of time before the
90.
system kicks them out?
90
days.
90 days.
90 days. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
But like I said,
Cool.
you can put as many quotes in here as you want for practice, for figuring it out, navigating, kind of cementing that process. You can put as many of them in there as you would like. And they'll drop out after 90 days.
Yeah, I think we'll probably be doing trial and error. I mean, we won't know until we get that first live, quote, and it's pretty
Yeah.
straightforward and self-explanatory. So it's awesome.
Right. And yeah, always just reach out to dealer services because they can certainly walk you through the process if you get stuck with anything.
Perfect.
But like I said, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Well, thank you, Lisa and Michaela. Appreciate your time and doing this for us.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
bet.
Thanks, Matt, for jumping on,
Thank
buddy.
you.